As I'm sure you've heard, the federal government has recently announced the introduction of a new JobKeeper payment to assist eligible employers and self-employed individuals who have been impacted by the coronavirus pandemic to be able to continue to pay their workers. Eligible employers will be able to claim a subsidy of $1,500 per fortnight before tax per eligible employee for up to 6 months. The period began on the 30th of March, with payments to commence in the first week of May. These payments will be made by the ATO monthly in arrears and will ensure that an eligible employee receives a gross payment of at least $1,500 per fortnight. Employers will be eligible for the JobKeeper payment where their turnover has reduced or will be reduced by more than 30% relative to a comparable period from a year ago of at least a month. This is for businesses with a turnover of less than $1 billion. Self-employed individuals like sole traders and contractors will also be eligible for the payment, but at this stage we are awaiting further clarification regarding partnerships and trusts who are not employers. So employees for which the subsidy is being received must have been employed by the employer as at the 1st of March. This can include, though, employees that have been stood down or those that have been let go. This is a great opportunity for employers that didn't want to terminate any workers, but as a result of cash flow had to. You can now re-employ and access this subsidy. The employee can be a full-time or a part-time employee or a long-term casual. So that means that they were employed on a regular basis for the last 12 months prior to the 1st of March. Bear in mind too that the employee must be at least 16 years old, an Australian citizen, or hold a permanent visa and not in receipt of the JobKeeper payment from any other employers. You'll need to register for this on the ATO website, and you'll need to provide supporting documentation demonstrating a downturn in turnover in your business and report the number of eligible employees by the business on a monthly basis. Businesses without employees, I'm talking about self-employed individuals, will need to provide your ABN for the business and your tax file number, as well as a declaration showing that there's been a downturn in income. So the underlying purpose of the JobKeeper payment is to ensure that eligible workers are paid a gross minimum fortnightly amount of $1,500. So there's 4 examples here. 1, if the employee ordinarily receives at least $1,500 a fortnight in wages, they'll continue to receive their ordinary wage. So in this case, the JobKeeper subsidy will effectively subsidise a portion of the employee's gross wages. 2, if the employee normally receives less than $1,500 in gross wages, then the employer must pay them at least $1,500 in gross wages under the JobKeeper payment scheme. Number 3, if the employee has been stood down, the employer must pay the minimum $1,500 per fortnight. And number 4, if an employee was employed on the 1st of March and subsequently ceased employment with their employer, but was then re-engaged by the same employer, this employee will receive a minimum gross fortnightly salary of $1,500 under the JobKeeper payment scheme. So in summary, if your turnover has reduced or will be reduced by more than 30% relative to a comparable period a year ago of at least a month, and you employ eligible employees, jump onto the ATO website and apply for the JobKeeper payment. If you've got any questions about this, or you need further clarification or would like assistance in applying for this, please let me know.